Do you rely on technology to get you through your day, or do you wish that all the beepers and cell phones and computers would just go away and leave you alone? We're discussing living with the technology that we have. And Dr. Rosen, we had just been discussing stress, how much all these different forms of communications have added to the stress in our lives. Have you seen that?
Yes, we've been studying people's reactions to technology for over 2 decades now. And one of the things that we noticed is that technology started creeping more into our lives at work, at home, and even in our leisure time. And people started getting more and more dependent upon them to be there. It's one of the reasons why we wrote TecnoStress, is so that we could alert people that yes, this technology could make your life better, but it could also cause a lot of stress, like we've seen with the problems with the pagers.
Well, you know, at first everyone was told the more technology the better, because it's going to simplify our lives and we'll have more free time because we'll be able to do things, take care of things more quickly. Pitney Bowes took a study, and they estimated that people that work for them received 170 messages a day, right, and that they were interrupted by those messages about 3 times every single hour. Mm-hmm. I'd like to start with you, Dr. Rosen. Do you think we communicate as effectively now as we did before, when we have so many ways to communicate? Or before, when we had to sort of, you know, condense things, figure out what was really important and what message we wanted to get across?
I liken the new technology, and particularly communication technologies, to the old Wild West. There are no rules out there yet, and we haven't quite figured out how to do it. So one of the things that I always recommend to people is that you do what's called modality matching. You meet someone and you're going to have a communication. You talk to them and say, what is your preferred modality of communicating? Otherwise, you get into problems where people will fax somebody and they don't hear back, or they'll email somebody and they don't hear back, and they'll think that the person is shunning them when in fact the person doesn't check their email but maybe once every 3 or 4 days.
All this equipment, from computers to cell phones to ATMs, technology has made our lives a lot easier in some cases, but a lot of people are still reluctant to embrace the latest high-tech gadgets. Our Steve Fox has more on the symptoms and the possible solutions for technophobia.
Where did all the people go? Why does so much cash come from a bank machine instead of a telephone? Why does it seem like nobody will talk to you on the phone?
Press 4 for rate information.
If you're frustrated with modern technology, you are not alone.
Over 85% of us are feeling hesitant or resistant to technology.
Professor Larry Rosen, who has studied the effects of rampant technology, says millions of Americans are experiencing a reaction known as technostress, and as a result are staying away from all the new gadgets.
We find many people now who are saying no to technology, or I don't want it. It's not for me.
Limiting your use of technology to only the gadgets that you really need is among the ways of coping with technostress. Other solutions?
One is to realize you're not alone. Realize that 3/4 or more of the population are feeling exactly the same way you are. The second is realize that technology is confusing, and it does have problems, and the problems are not necessarily easily solvable.
And even if they are solvable, it's likely that some diehards will never have the desire to go for a spin on the information superhighway.
I've been studying people's reactions to technology for over 15 years, and we have found that 85% of the people in America are either hesitant or resistant to technology. We call it technostress, and Y2K is just another example of technostress.
This is why the VCRs aren't programmed and the clock flashes 12:00, right?
That's right. For a while it was VCRs flashing 12 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 12 o'clock. Now we're starting to talk about Y2K. We've done a brand new research study that we just completed on over 1,000 people, and found that 50% of them, 50% of the adults, felt that there was going to be a big problem with Y2K. Whenever I do consultations or keynote speeches, my main theme is to tell people to recognize that, first of all, they are in control of technology and it is not controlling them. And so the goal is to be prepared so that you won't have to panic. Just like earthquake preparedness or tornado preparedness or preparedness for a big winter storm, once you're prepared, you can breathe a sigh of relief, feel better, and not feel the panic.